हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we continue discussion on Prabhupada's purports. We are in the third canto, fourth chapter. This is a very important section where Uddhava is directing Vidura to go to Maitreya instead of he directly giving the instructions. This is very important because we need to follow etiquette, proper etiquette. This is Maryada Vedikram. If there is some senior, we should make him speak. It is not the content, it is actually the purity, and also there is on the part of the person who is giving knowledge. Because many times it happens that we have some more information than the speaker who is giving, and we may tend to sometimes judge, "Arey, this person don't know." And we should also know that Krishna is reciprocating and he is speaking, he is inspiring that person, and whatever his audience need, maybe he's inspired to speak that way. Also, we have to know that any of the activities that are happening. So this is very important point. Please try to understand. In this world, the presence of Lord is actually the creation of all these things. Everything is, as such matter, is chaotic. It is, if only matter is there, everything is very, very disorganized. It is very chaotic. But once the presence of consciousness comes, then only there will be something good happens in this world. That means things are organized if there is consciousness enters. Without the consciousness, things are not organized. Like say, if you take any color or paints, if just all the paints are there, it is very chaotic. But there is an artist, it becomes very beautiful. Similarly, this world, because of the presence of consciousness of Lord, things are working. Similarly, that's why everything is quite organized. If you see things are working because some consciousness is present. Just matter, this is a very demoniac way of understanding that the material cause and material effect. No, it's not material cause and material effect. There is a divine consciousness behind all this that is happening. Similarly, within our body also, if we see, we say that, oh, the presence of consciousness is making the body function. But with our consciousness, it is not possible to make this body work also. Say, how many of you have taken your dinner yesterday night or some other people breakfast or whatever. Now, how many of we are consciously meditating? Okay, let me digest my food now. Let me digest the food that I have taken in the night and in the morning. We are not consciously digesting that. Then who is doing it? There is Paramatma. Because of him, the digestion is happening. On our level, the soul's consciousness is so limited, it can only desire, it can only know, it can only feel, but it cannot function. Function is happening because of Paramatma only. This is very important. That means any activity that I am able to do, say now I am able to speak. So this ability to speak is because I am uh, I am actually the Paramatma is there in the heart. That's why I am able to do it. Otherwise, it is not possible. This is very important. So, any activity we are doing, we should know this is the Paramatma who is giving that strength, energy, abilities. All these things are done by the Paramatma only. As such, the soul is just conscious. It has desires. It has some feelings. That much only. That's all. So here, mm, it helps us to become little humble and do things little more realistic. We need not be very proud that I am doing because it's empowerment. It's the Lord who is giving that strength. So Uddhava clearly understand this. That's why for him, he says, okay, you may take lessons from great learned sage Maitreya, who is nearby and who is worshipable for recipients of transcendental knowledge. He was directly instructed by the personality of Godhead while he was about to quit this mortal body. Because when Lord was instructing Uddhava and Maitreya, both were there. So Uddhava thought because Maitreya is besides, and he also heard whatever, so he can also repeat it. It's not a problem. That's why he sends Vidura to Maitreya. And Uddhava goes to Badrikashram and other places where Krishna has instructed him to enlighten the sages with the instructions which he received from Krishna. So hmm, that was the mood there. So here, so always you should know that only Paramatma is acting. Upadrishta Anumanta. He is the sanctioner. He is able to move the material matter. So I mean, the moment of hand is because of the Paramatma who is present in God. Otherwise, not possible. If Paramatma along with the soul lives, that's all. This body is no more. It's just a lump of matter. That's all. It becomes degraded. Like similarly, we always have to be conscious about this fact that I am being a instrument. Now, what help by this knowledge, what will help us to help us to help us to chant nicely. And when we are chanting, we can sincerely pray to the Lord. My dear Lord, please help me to become an instrument in your hand. Let me feelingly chant. Let me be. Uh, let me start. Let me desire to become an instrument. So this is what we can do. And then we need not plan for many other things because anyway we cannot do all these things. What we can do is we can pray to the Lord. So now we'll see what Prabhupada is writing. Although one may be well versed in the transcendental science, one should be careful about the offense of Maryada Vetikram or impertinently surpassing a greater personality. According to scriptural injunction, one should be very careful of transgressing the law of Maryada Vetikram because by so doing, one loses his duration of life, his opulence, fame, and piety, and the blessings of all the world. So this is very important. So just by following etiquette, so this is what is happening in the modern culture is children they stop respecting their parents, they stop respecting the teachers, and I am also what is a victim of not respecting teachers in the school. And now I feel sad that why I did not do because that maybe because of my association I spoiled somebody else also. But that was the tendency that was there, and it was not correct. Now I very much lament. Of course, I got an opportunity to meet my teachers in alumni and then give them Bhagavad Gita and journey home. So in that way, I try to come out of that offense, whatever I committed. But it is not very good. Now, what is happening in the modern way? They don't want the respect. They want everybody should be called by names. This is actually not proper. It is very degrading. In the West, this is where all the ideas come from America, good or bad. And this is what is propagated. He said, no need to call sir or madam, just call by name. Even the big CEO of the company also, he is also just given by name. This is why we should give extra respect. No, respect is actually protection. They don't understand. If wife respects husband, then husband feels that responsibility to protect the wife. If the children are respecting the parents, the parents feel that I need to protect my children. If they are not respecting, then there is no question of protection. Now everybody want to be independent, no respect only. Children don't respect parents, wife don't respect husband, and then nobody respects anybody. Then what happens? They become insecure. And this is actually what is happening in the present society. There is so much insecurity, and because of which people need so many insurance companies. External securities people have to take up because they know nobody is going to take care of me. So I have to insure myself, and then this is actually what happens in the old age. They have to put their own money, social securities, and then they have to wait. Okay, this is what will protect me, and this is what happened in the West because people they know that the family is not going to take care because you never trained them or you never the proper respect was not given, proper training is not. If I don't respect my parents, I'm sending them to old age home. Then what can I expect? I also have to prepare for old age home in the when things are changing for me. So uh, it is very bad situation that is happening, especially lack of respect. And we see here people lose duration of life, they lose their opulence, they lose their fame, they lose their piety and blessings of all. This is the greatest misfortune that is happening. Even the president is called by name, and they feel it is what is the, here at least some elder person comes previously in the train. If somebody elderly is sitting, people they were very careful not to speak any nonsense and all. But nowadays nobody cares. They just want to do with their mobile, they play whatever they want to talk, they will talk. They don't even care somebody is elder to them or somebody is respectable personality in front. No, sometimes it happens, like say I go in local train or metro trains. Suddenly they say because the dress is this because of the dress. Suddenly some person gets some says, Swamiji, please sit, please sit. I said, no, you sit. They feel because they are respecting the dress. At least sometimes it happens that people they are very fortunate people in that way because they get their consciousness is still good and it is protection for them, and they can be more peaceful in life than compared to other people who don't have respect, and they get so much blessings. I have seen some families, the son is so nicely taking care of the parents, the father is suffering with terrible diseases, and then son is so nicely taking care. It looks like that the son is betrayed of his son's enjoyment because you have to so much take care of your father and mother who is old and sick. Then where is my enjoyment? I am losing all my time and all my energy in serving them. Where is the opportunity for me to enjoy? So this is actually what people calculate. They don't understand that the purpose of life is not enjoyment. Purpose of life is responsibility. Because they feel the purpose of life is enjoyment, and that is what is propagated. So overall, people get there will be problem for people in terms of dealing and handling and all these things because Hmm. whole propaganda is in a wrong way. Previously, even before the Middle Ages or even before the Industrial Revolution, Middle Ages, even the Western part of the world also had the same understanding that life is responsibility. It is not for enjoyment. But after Industrial Revolution, everything changed, and people started feeling that yes, life is just to enjoy whatever comes. You just have to enjoy and experience and finish. That is the nice way of Kali's entry into the world, and that is the way the Maya is arranged. Like even Western part, even in Greece, uh, I think one philosopher said that all these entertainers they should be kept outside the kingdom. Is telling that the entertainer should be kept outside the kingdom because they are making people lose the purpose of life, making them irresponsible. And that's what we can see, like many parents have this complaint now. The children are so much addicted to mobiles. Why? Because they feel that is the purpose of life. I need to enjoy. I am working hard because anyway I don't like what I am doing. So let me enjoy. And you are getting enjoyment on the very childhood. And now it is becoming very, very difficult for them to control because they don't know what should they tell not to enjoy because life is meant for enjoyment, and parents that's what they teach. Better now you study nicely, and in future you will enjoy. And the fellow will think, why in future? I'm enjoying now only. Why I should wait till future to enjoy? If that enjoyment is available now, I'm fine with it. So this is what is the problem now. And here we see that how if the respect and all. So this is all connected, everything. If you take, it's a responsibility, life. I need to stop enjoying. And this is complete tamoguna. Kali Yuga is so much affected by tamoguna and rajoguna. Mm. Uh, and some other nice points proposes. This is one point which always we have to always never train children that in future you work very hard and in future enjoy. No, if you tell in future you'll enjoy, means you are telling them that the purpose of life is enjoyment. No, if you tell future enjoyment is that is itself is the principle itself is wrong. We have to train children to be respectful, to be responsible, and life is for that. Of course, what happens is generally it was quite easy in previous ages when once till the person is married, he is uh, he is having this enjoyment. So the previously what was happening is like after marriage, na, people used to become immediately responsible. Till the time they were like, okay, enjoy fun and all. Then marriage is responsibility, children responsibility and all. But now, because so much of enjoyment is propagated, even after marriage, also people are not taking responsibility. And they are enjoying, then they are doing abortions. They don't want children. They don't want children for many years. Just want to have fun. They want to enjoy. And after children come also, some of the mothers they directly tell to the children after 4 or 5 years, kids they tell you spoiled my life. And what will happen to them? Like they tell you spoiled my enjoyment. You came in my life and 5, 6 years. And now the child is 6 years. He says 6 years have spoiled my life. You spoiled my. This is what the mother feels, and this is what is happening nowadays because they didn't understand the purpose. So, and this is they're not teaching only properly. They are teaching to enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. And what they say also, better I could not enjoy. You work hard and you enjoy. This is another bogus thing. So, right. Because the purpose of life is not enjoyment only. Purpose of life is self-realization. This is what is. No, ఆహార నిద్ర భయమైతే నుంచి సమర్థమైతే పశువుని ధర్మో హితేష అధికో విశేష ధర్మేణ పశుసన. If you are not working for this is the purpose of life. So very, very clearly Bhagavatam explains that कामस्य न इंद्रिय प्रीति लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्तो यचेगम कामस्य न इंद्रिय प्रीति. So clearly Bhagavatam is telling purpose of life is not kamasya indriya priti, not sense gratification only, not enjoyment. Future you will enjoy, that is not the purpose of life. Kamasya na indriya priti labho jiveti avata. Then why you should work hard and do all this college office and all? Labho jivate. How much is needed for maintenance? That much only we need to work. And remaining time, jivasya tattva jignasa. Meant for self-realization. Every human being, what the parent should teach children? Purpose of life they should teach. And what is that purpose? Self-realization. Tattva jignasa should be taught. If you teach since enjoyment is the purpose of life, we are spoiling the children. And that is, they are not taking the responsibility. That's why Rishabh Des says, no, that Pita na sasya, Janani na sasya, Daivam na sasya, and all these things. He says you cannot, the responsibility is to inspire them to take to Krishna consciousness. That is the purpose of life. And we make them educate and other things. That is part, but it is not the life. Yes. Uh, uh, yes, much.
Areshna Prabhuji, such a wonderful class, Prabhuji. It has to be recorded and sent to youth and for parents, both for both parents and children. This session is very very important, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like what you said is actually my son studied in IIT Delhi and is working, Prabhuji. When he was studying that IIT preparation, when it is tough, I used to tell, now you work hard, later you can enjoy. That's what I have told Prabhuji. And that's what you're also addressing now. And now suddenly, if I tell him I've changed the, I mean, after that only I got Krishna conscious after he has finished his 12th. So now if I say he will not accept, but this is what the mistake I did is same thing, Prabhuji. Now you study, you get into IIT, then you will enjoy later. And this is what everyone is telling. And one point I just want to know is, Prabhuji, like we can, if one follows the instruction of mind always guides to like or dislike, like enjoyment only, Prabhuji. Mind is based on enjoyment. But unless we follow a value system, what you're explaining now cannot be understood at all, no, Prabhuji. What you're explaining now is either they should follow Varnashrama system or Bhakti Yoga. Any value system should be followed, no, Prabhuji, to understand what you're telling.
Yeah, that is very much true. Previously, it was very easy for people because the value system was so very uh, clear in the society, like Varnashram, Dharma, and all. Even one value of whole system, that is respect. Whole Varnashrama is respect only, based on respect. You can see here, so much respect is given for elders, so much respect is given. When Yudhishthir was about to fight in the Kurukshetra battle, he removed his armor, put his bows and arrows, and started walking towards Kauravas, offer obeisances to Bhishma, Drona, and Kripacharya, Shalya, and asked them permission to fight. So respectful, and immediately they bless. Yes, you will only be victorious. And Duryodhana is confused. He said, they are fighting for me and blessing Yudhishthir. Because that is what is the principle of Varnashram Dharma. Is Vedic culture is culture of respect. Vedic culture, if you want to define in
That is
one word,
totally
it's a
gone,
culture of
Prabhuji.
respect.
Mm. Even in schools,
Now,
they teach to call as auntie. Teachers, no? Nowadays, in big schools, they don't even call miss or teacher. They call the teachers are student to call auntie. Then how is that education will get inside them, Prabhuji?
then they say if teacher is shouting on you or punishing you, call parents. Then the parents will come and fight with the teacher. Previously,
Mm.
in the villages, if a teacher is there in the village, then the parents used to send some vegetables or some grocery or something and tell,
Mm.
go and give to the teacher. And even
Mm.
the parents used to touch the feet of the teacher. They
Correct.
say, because you are training my son and training my daughter. So parents used to respect the teacher. And even if, at our time also we saw how much teachers are respected by our parents. Now parents fight with teachers. How can you chastise my? And if parents come to know that in the school the teacher punished the child, and parent will come after coming home, the parent will also punish.
Mm.
So they used to become angry. Why did you do mistake? Teacher already chastised, and parents will also
Mm.
chastise because he got.
Mm.
Now it is reverse because they think no, it should all enjoyment. And of course, we are not propagating exploitation of children and all. But what we are telling the principle is how much they are respected. Because when respect is there, then there is a transformation of heart. Now only there is a transfer of no, information only. Now there is no transfer of knowledge. There is no transformation of heart. It is all
Mm.
everybody gets information, but no transformation because there is no respect, there is no love, there is no culture, and even the teachers themselves are college professors and all. They also sit with the students and they also start drinking and smoking.
Yes,
What type of
yes,
respect
correct.
they can expect from them? Anyway, that
Yes.
is a big topic. I if we
Father and
discuss.
son, Prabhuji, father and son sitting and drinking in many places.
Yeah, this is too bad. And that is what is
Mm.
propagated in the entertainment industry and all. It's
Very true,
so
Prabhuji.
common, so cool. It's so cool to drink, so cool to smoke. Arre, what is cool? You are suffering with, you'll get disease,
Mm.
cirrhosis, and you'll lung cancer and all. Because
Mm.
the purpose of life is given as propagated as enjoyment. how much cool you are in drinking, how much cool you are parties, how much cool you are, and how many opportunities you get to do these things. And that is what is considered as the success and purpose of life. So things go very, very astray. People are so much affected by this, and because they cannot do it, their senses are limited, their finance is limited, their resources are limited, and because they cannot do it, they really get into so much trouble. They feel that this is what is the standard, and I am not able to achieve it, and then they go into so much distress, stress, and depressions, and all these things will happen. But if you know life is purpose is responsibility, then does not matter. Like previously, somebody is a some security guard, somebody is a driver, somebody is some simple worker, and he used to take responsibility of his wife and children, and he is happy with it. There is no so much insecurity with job that I have to leave the job and work somewhere else to make more money. No, just be happy, whatever job they are. Like my father once he got this government job, he is happy taking care of the family. He didn't anytime there is a thought that, oh, now we should change the job and go for something higher. Because they thought, okay, now life is responsibility, I'll take responsibility, and with whatever is provided, let me maintain the family, and things are cool, and they're they retire nicely and happy. But nowadays so
Nowadays,
much they
youth are
change the job.
refusing to get married only because of the responsibility, Prabhuji. They are getting everything by Swiggy, Zomato. Earlier, for food, they need women. Now they're getting everything. Some cook is coming. They have enough money. So many children, I mean, youth are, they don't even want to get into marriage because of the responsibility alone, Prabhuji.
They don't yeah, this is this one thing has so much spoiled, and this is what is
Mm.
coming from the west to India, this
Yes.
culture which is so much destroying people. And
Mm.
that is what all these media, movies, serials, they so much bombard, so much bombard, so much bombard. In the villages also, they are entering because they have access to all these things very easily now. It has completely destroyed the culture, and people are so much in trouble. This because psychologically they are feeling that they're missing something. Previously, like
Yes.
I was not knowing what is happening in America. I just know what is happening besides my neighbor because I don't have any
Correct, 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 correct,
internet or TV. I know what is neighbor, and I just compare with him.
correct.
Okay, a he has two cows extra than me, and I'm okay. Maybe in after few years I may also get little more land, little more cows, and my mind is peaceful. Now, because I know how people in America are enjoying, how my friend went to America and enjoyed, and he's enjoying there, he's enjoying there. I want to repeat it here. So I get into so much of anxiety, and I
Correct,
feel that I'm
correct.
losing something in life.
Exactly.
So
Very true, Prabhuji. Very, very true. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
there are some questions in chat. I'll just take some questions. One of the challenges we face at work, personal circle, is people are not interested following even dharma for acquiring money since graduation, thinking who will be interested in spiritual life. Yeah, that is also another very like people previously at least dharma was followed to get artha and kama, but people removed dharma also and moksha. We had four purushas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Now people removed first and second. They only have second and third. First and fourth they removed. They don't want dharma. They don't want moksha. They don't want artha and kama. Artha and kama, whatever way it comes, people are okay. But they don't know that the payment is very different. See what happens previously people used to pay and then enjoy. There is responsibility before. Now there is no responsibility. You enjoy, then we in Vedic culture. In Vedic culture, even demons having morals. Yeah, Jarasandha, and even uh, Kamsa also did not do abortion. Said that there is at least he was having some level of some culture. He said, no, no, we should not kill the child in the womb. See, once he comes out, let me take care of it. He was also afraid that it will be too much infamy if I kill the child. And even Duryodhana, when Arjuna comes and asks for 5 arrows, Duryodhana says, okay, you take. So that much sense people are having. Somebody comes and asks, beg, you have to give only. There is no option. So, yeah. A paradigm shift in philosophy of life has occurred in modern society due to atheistic education. If we are strongly convinced, we can understand their mindsets and preach compassionately. Yeah, that is true. The question is Prabhu, how to bring out the children who is not ready to get married just because of burden of responsibility. I don't know because I also didn't. So, I'm not sure. But yeah, if he is in need, then we uh, we have to we have to teach children that it is helpful for them in a long run. It will help them to control their mind and senses. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult. They need some. Uh, they need some protection for their mind and senses, and that can happen only with the help of a wife or husband. Otherwise, in a long run, and emotional needs will not be taken care. That's what we can tell. Two, three things we can tell. One is to help them control mind and senses to be regulated. Third is to get emotional support. Yes, Mataji, you had some point.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Uh,
Points brought out Prabhuji about Maryada Vyatikrama. I just wanted to, say one thing. Whatever you are speaking is from the Shastras, and we are whatever we're supposed to follow, all those things. But these days, things are so much, on the opposite side. Like, if you're working as a teacher in a school, you're actually told how to actually behave with the children. The children are not taught how to behave with the teacher. It's on the opposite side. They teach like you're not supposed to scold them, or raise your hand even on them, like that. Whereas tadana is like something which, it used to be said that you have to you know amend your child up to a certain age. You can even hit the child or something like that. Chanakya Pandit says, no. So I was just remembering that when you were talking about Maryada Vyatikrama, it's like, Maryada Vyatikrama for the children we have to do, like that it is.
we should not break the maryada for the children. They should be properly respected. Yeah, nowadays teachers they are not caring children because they don't have that responsibility now. They just do their teach whatever they can teach and get out. They just are not bothered about. Uh, there's no attachment between the teacher and children. Previously, the teachers used to be attached to children and children are attached to the teacher. But now they are not attached also.
Yeah, children are seen more as a project for the teacher, and they don't even see the children as, my wards, like, I need to take care of them emotionally, physically, and even spiritually. So that thing is not
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Actually, for this question of marriage, it is very important that they need to uh, know the purpose of life is responsibility, and that is the way they can be more happy in a long run. Presently, they feel that I can be free from responsibility, but in a long run, it will not make them completely satisfied. What happens is we need, like, especially if a boy is there or a girl is there, they have this psycho physical nature which makes them like a boy. He needs that he want to take care of somebody. That is a very deep need in him. That's why he has to marry. And for a woman, she has a need to care for somebody, and that's why she need husband and children. Then when that is given to them, they feel completely satisfied. And then what happens once that is satisfied, then they can utilize their energy in self-realization. Once they see after some years, once they are done with this, then they are no more interested in all these material. They say, okay, now I have done sufficiently. Now I need to use my energy in understanding the higher truth. So this is actually what is happened in the previous ages. Once the need is fulfilled, then immediately the purpose of life becomes clear for them. They say, yes, now I can. go ahead. If they have not enjoyed, if they have not done that, then for them to go to self-realization also becomes very difficult because they have still longing in it. Now, why they are not doing it? Because of the propaganda. They are programmed in a wrong way, which is damaging themselves and damaging the society also. But we have to tell it will help them to, maybe it's actually a big topic to be discussed. They need to understand these things more deeply and understand, maybe if they can meet some very nice devotee, they can help them to personally talk and discuss with them. It then they will able to get married. Otherwise, if they have some nice guidance and there is a discussion and they are explained nicely, then it is possible for them to change. Yeah, so I'll just continue. We'll complete this purpose. To be well versed in the transcendental science necessitates awareness of the techniques of spiritual science. Uddhava, being well aware of all the technicalities of transcendental science, advised Vidra to approach Maitreya to receive transcendental knowledge. Vidra wanted to accept Uddhava as his spiritual master, but Uddhava did not accept the post because Vidra was as old as Uddhava's father, and therefore Uddhava could not accept him as his disciple, especially when Maitreya was present. Otherwise, Uddhava could have accepted because Maitreya was present, that was also there. The rule is that in the presence of a higher personality, one should not be very eager to impart instructions, even if one is competent and well versed. So Uddhava decided to send an elderly person like Vidura to Maitreya, another elderly person. But he was well versed also because he was directly instructed by the Lord while he was about to quit his mortal body. This mortal. Since both Uddhava and Maitreya were directly instructed by the Lord, both had the authority to become the spiritual master of Uddhava or anyone else. But Maitreya, being elderly, had the first claim to become the spiritual master, especially for Vidura, who was much older than Uddhava. One should not be eager to become a spiritual master cheaply for the sake of profit and fame, but should become a spiritual master only for the service of the Lord. The Lord never tolerates the impertinence of Maryada Vetikram. One should never pass over the honor due to an elderly spiritual master in the interest of one's own personal gain and fame. Impertinence on the part of the pseudo spiritual master is very risky to the progressive spiritual realization. So here it says Sridhar Goswami said, okay, after this discussing with Vidura the transcendental name, fame, qualities, etc. on the bank of Yamuna, Uddhava was overwhelmed with great affliction. He passed the night as if it were a moment, and thereafter he went away. The word used here for Krishna is Vishwamurti. Both Uddhava and Vidura were in great affection because of Lord Krishna's great affliction because of Lord Krishna's departure, and more they discussed the transcendental name, fame, and qualities of the Lord, the more the picture of Lord became visible to them everywhere. Such visualization of transcendental form of Lord is neither false nor imaginary, but is factual, absolute truth. When the Lord is perceived in Vishwamurti, it is not that he loses his personality or transcendental eternal form, but he becomes visible in the same form everywhere. This is actually very important to understand that when we chant the name, then there is Nama, then the Rupa. And when we start chanting his name or chanting his glories, immediately the form will also be manifested. That is the how the system works. And because it is not different, so the form is also manifested. There is a question. Please clarify how do we understand this point of respect from for elderly spiritual masters against Sukadev Goswami delivering Bhagavatam in the presence of Vyasadeva other saints. and he is also very elevated in his consciousness. Sukadeva Goswami. So it is not Maryada Vyatikrama. Of course, the sages of or it is in terms of spiritual uh, realizations, he is in a much more higher state. That's why it is not Maryada Vyatikrama. Yeah, otherwise, if like Rom Harshan Sutta, when he's sitting on Vyasasana, Balramji comes. He did not stand. Balram said, okay, now enough. You need not live further. He touched with the grass and he removed his life. So, but in Sudeva Goswami's case, all of them they stood, except for Vyasa and Narada, very few. Everybody stood. They are very great elderly people, but they understood this person is very realized. So spiritually, he is very grown up. That's not just materially, but spiritually also. The king inquired at the end of the pastimes of the Lord of the three worlds, Sri Krishna, and after the disappearance of the members of the Vrishni and Bhoja dynasty, who are the best of the great commanders, why did Uddhava alone remain? Now the question is, why did he remain? According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Nidhanam means the transcendental abode of the Lord. Ni means the highest, and Dhanam means opulence. And because the abode of the Lord is the highest manifestation of transcendental opulence, his abode can therefore be called Idham. Apart from the grammatical elucidation, the real purpose of the word Nidhanam is to indicate that all the members of Vrishni and Bhoja dynasty were directly associated of the Lord, and after the end of his pastimes, all the associates were dispatched to their respective position in the transcendental abode. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur elucidates the meaning of Akritam as past tense. A means complete and Kritam means A means complete and Kritam means transcendental past tense. Since the Lord is identical with his transcendental body, there is no question of his changing or quitting his body. To accept in accordance with the rules of customs of material world, the Lord seems to take his birth or leave his body. But the pure devotee of Lord knows well the actual fact. It is necessary, therefore, for the serious students of Srimad Bhagavatam to follow the notes and comments of the great acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti. To others who are not devotees of the Lord, comments and explanations of Acharya may appear to be grammatical jigglery, but to the students who are in the line of disciplic succession, the explanations of great acharyas are quite fit. That means for us, they are so important for us to understand what exactly is the purpose of that shloka, or why it is given, why the question is asked, and what we need to know from it. On our own, people give so many their commentaries. It does not have much value only. You not read so many books here, there, here, there. People have their own commentary on Ramayana, Mahabharata, here, there. That is all. We don't say it is wrong, but we say it is not very helpful. It is their level of understanding. But acharyas, that is completely different. Somebody is an acharya and is giving a commentary that has some value. Say now, if I give my political opinion, say this is regularly nowadays happens in the news channels. So many people come and any incident happen in the country, then they call some panel discussion. Everybody comes and gives their opinion, and nobody agrees with others' opinion. And general people, they also they mix all their opinion, they create their own opinion. So in that way, nobody ends nothing. There is no proper conclusion, and there is nothing much benefiting. Similarly, any opinion on Rama and Mahabharata by any of the speakers, if they are not giving the commentary of acharyas, is their own opinion. Will not make much change in the heart. It may entertain it a little bit because they have taken some conclusion. Like some WhatsApp, I was got a state. I think some status or some WhatsApp. Like one woman, she was giving a commentary on you Bhagavad Gita. Now it looks very nice management perspective. The comment on Bhagavad Gita based on management. but it looks very attractive. It looks like a very intelligent woman and all. But it is in one level, it is of no value for us because it does not change a person. It does not transform the heart. That is the purpose of our life. Whatever we are reading, why we have to sit and take so much time in reading Bhagavatam, why we have to take so much time in reading all these purports and all the acharyas. Only one purpose. That is the purpose of life. That is to change our heart, to make the transformation, to give this proper understanding. Okay, this is what is my life is going for. If we do this one thing, then we can say that we have achieved something. Any book we are reading or anything we are hearing or doing, only one thing to change the heart. Otherwise, it's just entertainment. Mandanam, Lokaranjanam. That's all. It is a decoration of dead body, what Bhagavad says. The word Upagateshu is also significant. All the members of Vrishni and Bhoja directly reach the abode of Lord. Other devotees do not reach the abode of Lord directly, but the pure associates of Lord have no attraction for the opulence of many planets of the material world. Sometimes, due to inquisitiveness, devotees who uh, are to be promoted to the abode of Lord have some attraction for the opulence of higher material planets above the earth, and thus they desire to see while going up to the perfection. But Vrishnis and Bhojas were directly dispatched because they have no attraction for material opulence. Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur also suggests that according to the Amrita Kosha dictionary, Akriti also means Lord Krishna ordered Uddhava by signal go to Badrikashram after his departure, and Uddhava, as a pure devotee of Lord, carried out the order more faithfully than going back to Godhead or the abode of Lord. That was the cause of his remaining alone, even after the departure of Lord from the face of the earth. So he wanted Uddhava to fulfill his purpose because he wanted to give this message what he gave to Uddhava to others. So we'll continue this discussion tomorrow. Thank you very much. There is no questions and comments. We'll end. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, I have some questions. Yes, Tarini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Pranam. About this purport where Prabhupada is saying it may sound like word jugglery, the commentary of the Acharyas. So when I read through, I do feel it's like that, and especially when they refer to different kinds of grammar rules and somehow give a certain understanding. So as practitioner of bhakti trying to follow in their footsteps, how should I react when I look at such explanations given by the acharyas?
Because their heart is pure, na Mataji. That is the only. When what inspired from me from Prabhupada, because there are so many people to tell so many things. One thing I understood is Prabhupada will not cheat. And whatever he is speaking, it is Krishna is speaking through him. And Acharya is also same thing. This is what Krishna wants us to know. This is what,
Mm.
that's what, when Prabhupada is speaking anything, that is what Krishna wants us to know. That's all. And that will help us to put faith and go ahead. This is the information I need to know now because Acharya is giving, Prabhupada is giving. Krishna want to me to know this much only, not more than that also, not needed. That is what
Mm.
is because they don't have any desire to exploit, they don't have desire to enjoy in this world, they only want to serve. And Krishna will make them do that only. That's what I discussed in the before. On our own, what we can do, we cannot even digest our food. Consciously, we are meditating on digestion of food. No, who is doing?
Yes, right.
Paramatma is doing.
Exactly.
So that
Yes.
means any activity I am doing, it is Paramatma is making me do based on my desire. If I have a very
Mm.
sincere desire to serve, if a sincere desire to please, then Paramatma will help me do that only. That's what Prabhupada said. Prabhupada said, my dear Lord, make me dance, make me dance.
Mm.
Then Krishna is completely utilizing. And whatever we need, not that much, that is what is Prabhupada is going to speak. And
Mm.
that's why Prabhupada is God brothers, no? They are very, very scholarly. Prabhupada is
Mm.
not as scholarly as their God brothers. But because
Mm.
Prabhupada's desire is very pure, just
Mm.
some simple sentences, even a look of Prabhupada. could change the people's heart. If Prabhupada looked at somebody with so much compassion, immediately it changed. So this pastime I like very much. Prabhupada is going in Rath Yatra, and one lady was also standing there. She was looking at, and Prabhupada is looking at her, and Prabhupada is telling through her eyes. He is not speaking because so much crowd is there. Just looking at her, Prabhupada said, you are not okay." And that lady is confronting Prabhupada through eyes only. No, no, I'm okay, I'm okay. Prabhupada said, no, you are not okay. And after some time, tears started coming from her eyes. We just were looking at Prabhupada. She said, no, I'm not okay. And then later on, she comes and she says, Swamiji was looking at me and he's telling you are not okay. And I'm feeling, no, I'm okay. But I was fighting, but later on I accepted. And then that's how, because Prabhupada is so compassionate, just by his look, his glance, or his smile, or just one word changed so many people's heart because he has that desire. So whatever acharyas are giving, they're so pure. They just wanted to help, and Krishna is inspiring them to write certain things. So even look like word jugglery, that's what Krishna want you to know. So why don't we learn that much of it? So the
It's also
purpose and
meant for
intention got
the
weird.
is it also meant for the other philosophers to somehow show them that bhakti is the goal of Shastra and Krishna is the ultimate?
Yeah, yeah, that is, yeah. And what happens is everybody is having their own understanding, and and another important thing is Krishna is revealing to them that level of understanding also. Will not say that is wrong. Other acharyas, the other paramparas and all. That is also the revelation that Krishna is giving them. But for me, for you and me, this is Prabhupada and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, whatever they are writing, this is what Krishna want us to know for both of us. Because we are in this parampara, this is our Acharya, and these are the persons whom we have to follow, and this is what we need to know now, so that we will achieve our ultimate goal, where we can develop the Gopi Bhav and go to the spiritual world, Raga and Bhakti. That much, that is what is clear. It looks, what we say, if you logically see, it may have, but we need to, some places, we have to apply some faith. Say, yes, I may not understand now, but maybe it will be revealed later. Even though it looks word jugglery, that is true. Sometimes it looks like they're trying to squeeze out something from it, but we know that they're not doing it artificially. It is Krishna inspiring. So, if Krishna wanted like that, let me accept it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Keshav.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What you said is true. Like Prabhupada always says, Prabhuji, purity is our force. So this is like this even for sadhaka, like we are also preaching, no Prabhuji. So we may not transcend the three modes as of now and do all those things, but just sincere desire that I should take this message to others. That itself will give us some empowerment, no Prabhuji. I may not be perfect at this stage. So just a sincere desire and a very inspiring project. What you said finally, that inspiration only attracts Krishna's mercy. Our desire to, from heart, we want to share this knowledge to others. So that will attract mercy. And however we are, Krishna will give empowerment and give us the preaching talent also, Prabhuji. Very nice.
You are
Hare
doing so
Krishna.
much preaching, so you have so much realization.
Yes, Prabhuji. No. I have to shape myself that sometimes I'm not able to sing like that. I'm not talented enough. But now I got the inspiration in today, the last 5 minutes. Let me just make my desire pure. Like I may not be talented. I may not be very pure. I mean, I may not be out of anarthas, everything. But if my desire is pure to serve, to take this process to others, then Krishna will take her. He will purify me accordingly, Prabhuji. That itself is enough.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare